Meow meow. Hey, we got chatters. We got chatters and we got catters. May May is here earlier. Hi, Najwa. Hi, May May. Hi, Ray. Hi, Lori. You gotta go get food? Absolutely go get food. Leo, you're half lurking because it's time for the freestyle Olympic skating. All right, that's valid. That's valid. Welcome, Sassy. Hey, Heather. Yeah, do please go get some food. But yeah, you're such a good girl. What's happening? I think she heard something. There's cats out in the hall, so she was in Brian's office, sleeping on the poang, her favorite chair. And oh, she's got dirty toes. She needs to wash them. She was in there sleeping on the chair, and she got kicked out because two cats were at the gate, desperately wanting to come hang out with Brian in his office. So she got moved to the studio so she could be a stream cat. Oh my goodness, yeah, that's right. You're fasting right now, aren't you? I hope that you are being careful. I know that Ramadan is important, and you want to be able to participate, but do please be careful. The Poing is also your favorite chair? Poing. They're just good. It's a good chair. It's a good chair. It's comfy as fuck. Cats love it. Humans love it. Comes with a nice ottoman. I mean, I guess it doesn't come with it necessarily, but although in Brian's office, so we have two Poings. One is in the bedroom and one is in his office. And the one in his office, he doesn't have the footrest for it. I think he just stretches his legs out like some kind of weird animal. Hey, I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope we're all having at least a reasonable day. I've been very underslept for several nights and I am struggling. So you hate the dry mouth you get from talking at work and the weird adjustment period your body goes through with the sugar levels? Yeah. Yeah, the fast is as I understand it, it's just while the sun is in the sky. At least that's how the Baha'i fasts work, and I think they're the same structurally in many ways. Yeah, sunrise to sunset. It's a good chair should be their marketing slogan. Really, what more do we need to know? It's true. It's a good chair. It's comfortable. You can make it boing a little bit. It's good. Hey, Linry, welcome. Someone would die if you had to fast. Yeah. I've done fasting. I actually find it generally pretty easy as long as I'm set up properly for it. But the absolute hardest part is definitely, for me at least, the water. Fasting without water is, oof, that's rough. If you can take sips of water through the day, it's a million times easier, and you're not supposed to do that. With most of the religious fasts, you're not supposed to do that. And yeah, if you have blood sugar issues, if obviously there's a reason there are medical exemptions for the various fasts. You've only ever done it because you forget to eat, yeah. I'm okay with bugs or unicorns for my birthday. You know what? I'm okay with anything for my birthday because the fact that anyone would just want to do a birthday mani for me is extremely sweet and generous and lovely. And so you can do whatever makes you happy. if you feel like you want something that I will be extra excited about, then yeah, bugs and unicorns are things that I find extra fun and exciting. But yeah, it's it's whatever you want to do. Um, yeah, I used to do the intermittent fasting, but I did a really aggressive form of intermittent fasting where I had a 4 hour eating window each day. That was all. And so I would eat between 5 p.m. and 9 p.m., and that was it. But I could drink water, and that makes a huge difference. Sometimes I would get like real busy at work, and I would not drink water for a huge chunk of that, and that was difficult. You feel like crap if you're not drinking water. So you really need to hydrate like crazy when you're actually allowed to drink and eat. Okay. Yeah, most people can't do a eating window that aggressive, and especially most women can't. It's known that it is much more difficult for women to fast aggressively than it is for men. But yeah, it's not necessary if you have a medical condition or if you just aren't religious and don't feel like it. You're glad that Sassy brought up birthday manicures because you have a shameful confession to make. You don't know how that whole ritual is done. How do you find / get invited to birthday collabs? Okay, so generally speaking, the way most people find birthday collabs, like on Instagram, is people will post in their stories when they're setting up birthday collabs. And some people, they'll let you know, but most of the time it's because you see it in somebody's stories that so-and-so has set up a birthday collab for person X, and, it'll tell you who to DM about it. And that's the way it happens on Instagram. I'm not on Facebook, so I don't know if there's a system on Facebook for that sort of thing, or if birthday collabs are common on that. On Discord, I think Sassy is not involved in any of the Instagram ones. I don't believe that Sassy is particularly active on Instagram. So I think what she's talking about is less a collab thing and more just a bunch of people on Discord like to do birthday manis for each other. But yeah. So yeah, if you're on Instagram looking for birthday collabs, it's mostly in people's stories. If you know someone's birthday is coming up, you can like put something in your stories asking if anyone has done a birthday collab for that person, or there's certain people that you kind of get to know that tend to do a lot of birthday collab hosting. So, if you sort of know those people that do a lot of that, if you notice that certain people are posting a lot of birthday collabs, it can be worthwhile just chatting with them. So, yeah. Okay, we're here to do art. And we're here to do art of art. So let's start taking a look at some stuff. And I got a little help on the Varmints Discord, but I had also gone through and found some artists that I wanted to highlight. So I'm going to share with you some of the artists that I found. So this is the theme for tonight because we are still doing our Black History Month stuff. The theme for tonight is going to be making art it is inspired by art from a Black artist. I was mostly focusing on contemporary artists, and and I found a bunch of people that I love their work, but it won't necessarily work well on nails. And a few people whose work I think will translate well to nails. And so, there are a few that I saw that I really, really liked their work, and I wanted to share it anyway, even though it won't necessarily translate well. So I'm going to start with some of those. You have an artist in mind, but his name is wrong in your head. It's not Banksy. Well, if you figure it out, let me know. So this is not the correct one. I need to go to the Nails Up display to show you. Okay, so James Perkins. I came across this guy's work. Now, he's a little older than some of the others. A lot of the people that I happened to come across were quite young. But I found a lot of his work just really beautiful and just very peaceful and sort of quite compelling. It makes me happy to look at it. And there's a picture of him, I guess, setting up a piece or collecting parts. Unclear. But yeah, I really like the aesthetic of a lot of his work. This in particular is it sort of has Rothko vibes, who is an artist that I have always really enjoyed. And this is like Rothko, but make it beach, you know? Anyway, I really enjoy his work. And I don't think it will translate well to nails. But I wanted to share his work with you anyway, because I came across it while I was searching for this, and it just made me happy. And it just seems like his whole process is very, very peaceful and very joyous. And I like that. So that is James Perkins. And if you want to see more of his work, you can check it out. His website here is jamesperkinsstudio.com. Okay. The next one that I wanted to share is Michael Booker. And again, this is one that there's some stuff that might work. I could probably take pieces of it to make stuff work, but I don't think it totally lends itself immediately to nail art. But he's got some really lovely pieces. Each one of these is a link to a collection of work. But his work is very textural. It's extremely textural. And he does these really beautiful, he has this really beautiful focus on texture, in particular in hairstyles. Like these like traditional weaving and braiding styles. The way he captures the texture in that is somehow like, it's not realistic per se, but it feels like, it looks like it would feel, you know? And I like that a lot of his work, it looks like textile art, which I just find so cool. Like, it looks like textile art, and it's not. It's just really, it's fascinating stuff. I do think there's some stuff here that could potentially work. Whoops, that wasn't the one I wanted to grab this one here. There's some stuff here that could potentially work, but it's not, it doesn't lend itself as well as some of the other work that I saw. So that is michael-booker.com if you want to look at more of his stuff. I believe mostly he does a combination of paint and pencil crayon. Sorry, colored pencil if you're American. Yeah, it looks like basket weave or something. It's really, really lovely. I love the textural sort of vibe to it, even though it is very much flat work. Okay, the next one. This was one that Ray had, I think, linked. So Alex Peter Art, and this person does something called pyrography, which is working with fire. So it's mixed media. There's paint, there's ink, there's other media in here, but part of it is done with burning the, I guess, paper or whatever surface he's using, canvas. I'm not sure. Yeah, Ghislaine, I will absolutely. I'm keeping the links open, and I will absolutely put all of their links in a comment after the stream is over, because I do think that a lot of I love every artist that I chose to feature for this, even if I don't think all of them are going to work super well on my nails. I really think a lot of these artists. You just could spend a lot of time very easily just enjoying this just going through their portfolios. This is another thing that I actually only realized fairly recently. This theme of cowries. There's a few of the artists here that include cowries, and I was not aware until very recently that cowries are sort of used as a symbol of the African diaspora, and it's kind of, I don't fully understand exactly what it means to people, but it is clearly an important symbol, and so you see it a lot in artwork, from particularly from it seems to be, I see it a lot in art from people who are in the African American community specifically. I don't know if it has the same kind of significant roots elsewhere, but yeah, it's kind of a thing that I noticed in a few pieces with several of these artists that I had only recently become aware of myself. But cool work. Anyway, I think that everything that this artist does is incredibly beautiful, and just probably not stuff that's going to work super well, but holy heck, look at this. Like, how gorgeous. This is just that. And I wonder if I can zoom in here, because again, the textures, just stunning work. And I don't know how much of this is pyrography and how much of it is other media. Obviously, it looks like this has been done on an actual map. It's just fucking cool. Anyway, okay, so this is alexpeterart.com. And hello, Ghislaine. By the way, I didn't actually say hi to you. And also, hello, Bonquette. Just reading back a little bit here before I move on. Time to set your nails on fire. Let's go. I was actually talking about that sort of earlier on Discord, about how wouldn't it be convenient if we had you could like laser cut your nails, just have like a special little contraption that you put your fingertip into and then it like laser cuts your nail, which, if it weren't for the burning and the heat, that would be great. Jump scare, you thought you saw yourself. Yeah, it's crazy that any of this is done with fire, and I don't know what proportion of it is done with fire, but the fact that any of it is done with fire is just remarkable. Yeah. If he's achieving these skin tones with fire, which I would not be surprised, because I have seen pyrography artists do that. If that's the primary medium here, that is fucking extraordinary. And also, damn, that's fine hair. Anyway, okay, we need to move on. So that's alexpeter.com. Sorry, alexpeterart.com. The next one was another one that Ray suggested. And I don't know how this is pronounced, if it's Zenobia Bailey or something else vaguely similar to that. But really interesting. So this is a fiber artist, and a lot of their work looks similar to this. A lot of like highly geometric, very contrasty, lots of sort of geometric shapes superimposed on each other. And seems to be like the primary, at least for the last number of years. And just really cool. Here's one. This has got some more organic shapes happening overlaid. This would be a fucking nightmare to try and put on my nails, but it's incredibly cool. I didn't see an actual, like, a regular sort of website for this artist. Mostly what I was finding was this artsy stuff. And then, And then, I just went and did a web search and saw a bunch of her art, and saw that, most of it was sort of similar to this. But really cool work, but I am not putting this on my nails. Holy shit. Oh, you were thinking of Basquiat. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Basquiat, obviously very cool. I do feel like Basquiat's been done a lot, and I think I've even done Basquiat nails at some point in time. In particular, cowries were used as currency for some African peoples, and Ghana's current currency is called the... I'm going to mess this. Is it Sedi or is it Kedi? Is named after cowries. That's really cool. Leo, it would look really cool as nail art. But no, that would be a fucking nightmare that I'm not prepared for tonight. But it is really, really cool. You work at a laser manufacturer. For safety reasons, you cannot condone using lasers on nails. Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea. I'm not recommending it. Thank you for that, Ghislaine. I did not know that. You could get a spiral stamp and then reverse stamp those patterns. Yeah, sure. If I had one, but I don't. So we're moving on. I'm going to put the name Zenobia Bailey up here again. This is the artsy website for her. But yeah, I don't know if she has a standalone website. Next up. This is it Kehinde? Is it Kehinde Wiley? This is the guy that did the Obama portrait. But more importantly, he does some just incredibly cool artwork. I love everything about his work. Look at this fucking iconic nonsense. It's delightful. I love that it does this, like, taking very sort of like casual subjects and putting them in these incredibly ornate frames with incredibly ornate backgrounds that are just like, it's just such a delightful contrast. It really makes me happy. And this, like, really, this is the outfit, and you're on a, like, church stained glass style thing. It's just so good. It's so good. I would love to know what's going through his head when he conceptualizes this stuff, because I have some ideas about some things that it can mean, but it's cool work. And just, I do think some of these things, like some of the backgrounds, could probably work as nail art. I want to go back to that one and zoom in a little, because this is just lovely. Like, this is a fucking goddess. This is a goddess in an absolute chaos of a garden. That's beautiful. Yeah, I love the mix of religious iconography with this like extremely casual like what are you wearing here, my dude? And yet you are obviously a saint. Yeah, it's a nice fit though. Yeah. Yeah, they're incredibly cool. Like the art is amazing. Phonetically it's CD. Okay, thank you. Jinx, we both said goddess. Oh, I mean, it's so evocative. It's so evocative. All of his work is so evocative. Okay. So that's, I'm probably pronouncing it incorrectly, Kahinde Wiley, .com. Next up, this goes pretty dark. This goes pretty dark. Alyssa Sikelianos Carter, maybe? I don't know. I'm bad. Whatever, however you pronounce her name. This gets real dark, but oh gosh, I love this. I just look at this. Look at this. I just it whoops. Sorry about that. Yeah. It's just it's a lot. It's gorgeous. It's pretty disturbing. Come on, get. This one's just cute though. I don't know why this one's cute to me. I like this. Like, yeah, cut out water paper or the paper watercolor. Definitely. It's very like all of this is like very deep ocean creature drowning vibes. Oof. Very dark but very beautiful. Like, I just think this is so cool. This is one that I think I could do on my nails. But it would just be black and white for the most part. So, but really fun forms, terrifying forms. Not all of her work is like this though. So she's actually done a lot of other work that is like hang on. Was that? Yeah, here we are. So it appears to be collaged photographs of braids. And then there's, oh, this one's cool. But yeah, there's like, if you go back more into some of her older work, there's more of this like, this hair theming stuff where stuff that looks at first glance to be just patterns is actually photographs of a person's head. So like, it's cool. It's just cool. It's like interesting and like, look at this. This is remarkable. Now this is, as I say, this one's collaged photography, mixed media stuff, but just such a cool way to incorporate some themes that you don't get to see a lot in mainstream art. So yeah, the tentacles could make very cool nails. I absolutely agree with you. That was kind of one of the things I was thinking about. Yeah, the hair spiders. Yeah, it is a little creepier. All of her themes I find quite dark. but also beautiful and sort of haunting. Really cool work. Okay, next one. Yeah, Pan African colors. We're gonna run into the same problem that we keep having over and over and over again, which is that for Black History Month, I'm trying to just use nail polish from black artists or from black makers, and I don't have red. I don't have a red. I don't have a red. Now, if we find the perfect artwork and it absolutely has to be red, I guess I could break my rule and use one polish, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't know. It feels like cheating. Okay, here is another artist who does some really cool pattern stuff. Again, pronunciation, Muse, I don't know. And I believe the surname is Sesay, Sesay. Yeah, that's an option, Yaneli. We could do 2 or 3 artists and their respective work for the nails, get a mix and match thing going. That could be very cool. So this is more like geometric, abstract kind of stuff that is more about color and form rather than, specifically representative art. Some of which could really work nicely on nails. I do have an orange, thank goodness. It's not a creme, but I do have an orange. These are I just think they're fun patterns. They're cool colors. I would definitely struggle because I don't have a red, but I do have orange and I have some browns. So we could probably make it work. Anyway, cool stuff. And there's, years of work going back. Obviously, this person has a pretty strong grounding in sort of the classic sort of abstract geometric, little bit of surrealist influence going on there. But yeah, cool work. I think these would translate well. Nicholas Smith, I do not think that his work will translate well, but I love his work. And if you don't already know his work, you need to know his work. This is Benito Bowl. It makes me so happy. So he's on Instagram. I can't remember what his handle is on Instagram, but if you just look up his name, Nikkolas Smith, you'll definitely find him on Instagram. He does a lot of protest art. This one, obviously a fairly recent one. He did a bunch of different ones for this. I have a t-shirt of one of this series. But yeah, he did a whole series of them. And one of the things that I really enjoyed was that he mirrored, the resistance and the oppressor, in multiple, sort of eras. And he had a whole series of them, and I don't know if they're all up or not, but yeah, just really, really lovely work. He did like an animated GIF thing or a video that was like flipping through a bunch of different versions of this sort of format. You've arrived at volleyball. All right, well, I will see you later, Yaneli. Have fun. Yes, that was what the Benito Bowl one was for. Was for the Super Bowl. It was really, really cute. But yeah, I just really enjoy his work. He's incredibly talented. Very, just a really skilled portrait artist, and does some really really beautiful work, and as I say, a lot of protest art. And for Black History Month, he's been doing. It seems like he's been doing a portrait, like a speed portrait, a speed painting, every week or so, highlighting some some important Black individual or other. He's done a few different ones now, so really lovely, cool work. I love this one so much. The movement, the joy in this is such a delight. Just really beautiful. He's done a few Superman things too, which is, or not Superman, sorry, Spider-Man. Brain and mouth not connecting. Pele, gorgeous. Okay, we need to move on. But oh, look at that! Look, so good. Moving on. So that's Nicholas.art is his website if you want to see more, or look him up on Instagram because he's awesome. Scheherazade. What is the? I can't remember her last name. Nope, she doesn't have. I had seen her last name somewhere, but I cannot recall what her last name is. But Scheherazade, that you'd think that would be a name I don't know how to pronounce, but that one I actually know. I think that's actually a Persian name. Anyway, really beautiful, so colorful. I love the vibrancy, the intensity of these colors. And they all are just like this slice of life kind of gorgeous, intense. They're so like, everything is so shapy. It's just so good. It's so good, y'all. I don't know how I would put these on my nails, but I am willing to try. Like, I could take, pieces, I think, and make them work. Really just such cool stuff, though. And I love that it's all very relatable slice of life stuff, but it's just, elevated and given this sort of almost mystical, hallucinated, otherworldly kind of feel, thanks to the colors and the shapes she uses. All right, so that is Scheherazade. And then I saved this one for last because I'm going to be real with y'all. This is the artist I want to pick. The name Scheherazade is from Middle East through North African. That makes sense. So I know Scheherazade from songs and stories from the Baha'i faith, and so to me, I associate it with Iran. But it makes sense that it would have a wider source than that. So this person, actually, Ashley, turned me on to this artist. She goes by Banana Peppers Art, but it's actually like something like Brianna Piper or something like that. But her username on Instagram is, I think, B Peppers Art or something like that. But yeah, really quite a distinctive aesthetic, and one that I think can work really, really well as nail art. I love so much of her work. The combination of like fiber art and paint stuff is really lovely. I love this series. They're just so graphic. Oh God, I said series, and you know who thought that I was talking to her. I have a speaker in here that actually has not yet been told to shut the fuck up and not listen for that. Okay, so this is one of the pieces that I thought could work really, really well for this because, I could have a nail that's like this pattern, and I could have a nail that's like this pattern, and I could have a nail that's like this pattern, and I could have a nail that's like this pattern, and then I could do, the face on one nail. Like, how cool would that be? I think that would make a really cool mani. And it's not the only one that's in here that I really liked. There's ones like this where I could do a different face on each mani. Or on each finger rather. There's, hang on. There were some more down here. Obviously this I could do like a sponge gradient, or a lazy gradient and do just black over top. But there were more. There were others that I really liked. Oh, Sassy, you might like this one. I really like this for the same reason that I really like the other ones. Come on. I spent a lot of time on her website earlier. Okay, this was one that I thought could work really, really well. I have nice pastels that I can, like pastel jellies from Dimension Nails that I could lazy gradient behind and then have these in front and have these like fun designs. I feel like that could be really fun. Trying to remember if there were others. I think those were the three that like mostly caught my eye. I do really like these, like the massive fro with the little flowers in it is just such a cute look. Look at that. It's so cozy. Oh yeah, this one. I really like this one as well. Just the colors, obviously. Yeah, I knew you would like the Prego one. But yeah, so her work is so full of joy and it feels so like empowered and uplifting and it just feels good to look at it, Everything is just so shapy. The colors are beautiful. And she's got this really strong visual themes running through so much of her work. But yeah, I feel like my two favorites are this one and the one with the like different designs that could be. So let me actually just screenshot that so that I have that so I don't have to go hunting for it again. Come on. There's one. And then the other one that I got real excited about. All of these are available, by the way, as prints and such. I think she also does like t-shirts for some of the designs. So yeah, you can totally buy merch from her and support this artist. This is the other one that I really, really loved and thought would make just fantastic nail art. The record hat is also extremely cool. You're welcome to fall asleep watching the stream. So what do we think? Like, is it banana peppers? I feel like it's banana peppers. I know I usually like to let chat choose stuff, but I really feel like I love this work so much, and I'm excited to do it. But if y'all had other ideas, then I'm willing to keep an open mind and listen. I just think that this or the other one would make an extraordinarily good nail art look. Choose what's exciting me. Well, it would be one of these two then. It would be that one, or it would be... Come on. Get in there. That one. Let me just put this here so we can flip easily between them. So it would be that one or that one. What do we think? I guess it comes down to, do we want to do a more graphic, like pastel thing, or do we want to do wild, joyful colors? I'm going to do a poll. All right. I'll let you choose between these two. How about that? Because I'm excited about both of these ideas. Pastel or cool lady. So this one's pastels, and this is cool lady. So whichever one of these you think would make a cooler Manny. Could I do a left hand, right hand? Technically, I could, but I don't really want to do a 3-hour stream tonight. I don't really want to do a 3-hour stream tonight. It's already going to be a long stream, just doing one hand. All right, we'll give it another minute. Make sure everyone has had a chance to vote. It looks like we got some lurkers that haven't voted. It's okay if you don't want to vote, but it is nice if we can get lots of people to vote. It looks like the cool lady is going to win though. I don't think that the lurkers can make it up at this point. It's going to be the cool lady. This week has been long, yeah. Yeah, it has. Yeah, it has. All the weeks are long these days. All the weeks are long. And the government sucks. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm excited. And also, yes, hello, bow and arrows. Okay, so I'm going to need... What colors am I going to need? I'm going to need my yellow. I'm going to need that hot pink. I'm going to need a lot of the colors that I used yesterday, actually. I went and put them all away. Or not yesterday, Tuesday. What is time? Here, let me give you a cat. I'm going to grab my colors. All right. I need black and white. There's black rhino. Crinkled linens. Vitamin D, and let's see, what color do I want for that part? It's going to be like a, maybe breakfast at Monique's, or probably breakfast at Monique's, huh? Or actually, you know what, it might be better to do loggerhead sea turtle for that. And then, okay, I got that one. Yeah, we're using that group, that looks like I'm going to be using that pink multiple times in here. But I think we want the other pink as well. Okay. So, this cracked pink, and we want that hot pink jelly. Okay. I think this is all the colors we want. Unless I want to also... I'll grab the blue just in case I decide to use that. That is definitely a pedicure color. Right there. Okay. There we go. Whew. You don't know what you just voted for? You voted for this art. I'm going to translate this into a manicure. It's almost 2 a.m. Oh my goodness. That's so late. Or so early, depending. For me, it's just starting to get ready for bed, maybe. Oh, I should end this poll. There we go. Okay. Let's go. All right, so I'm thinking her face probably needs to be on the middle finger or the thumb. Probably the middle finger. I feel like the middle finger works better. So let's do her face there. And then we can do the hot pink with the little blue, like, stripey things in it here. Do the green and dots. Actually, let's do the green and dots on my pinky and do the yellow with hot pink, weird swirly blobby things on this finger. And then maybe the thumb could be mostly the black, like mostly the hair with the stars in it, but then a little bit of the blue and yellow swirlies around it. That could be fun. All right, I think I like this plan. Y'all. All right, let's start with getting some base colors down. Maymay, you have returned. Welcome back. We have voted. The people have voted. And we have come up with an idea. A plan. So, I'm going to start by putting down some of this black. Oof. This is not how I normally paint my nails. But, you know, I gotta make some sacrifices for the art here. I want to get enough of the shape of the hair, but also leave some space for the swirls. Okay. I feel like that works pretty well. All right, we're going to need a second coat of that, but that's okay. You participated last minute. Excellent. Come on. Don't be messing with the focus. I know, I moved my thumb. I'm sorry. It's the price of having it on autofocus. Okay. Now, the index, we will start. We're going to need definitely a couple of coats of this because actually I wonder if I put I wonder if I put this over top of a coat of this, if it would help it darken up faster. It probably would, right? Let's try that. We'll start with a coat of this more opaque pink creme, and then I'll put the jelly over top of that. and cross our fingers that that's a thing that helps. Because otherwise I would have to put like 3 coats of the jelly to get it to full opacity. And then trying to put nail art over top of that in anything like a timely manner. You know, painting over top of 3 coats of a jelly in a 2-hour stream is just asking for trouble. Asking for trouble. All right. The thumbnail, I'm going to use cracked crinkled linens as my base for this. All right. And then the ring nail, we're going to use vitamin D from Dimension Nails for my base. I love this yellow. This is like my favorite yellow creme that I have. It does take a couple of coats, like most yellow cremes. It is not strictly a creme. It's kind of got a little bit of that crelly flavor to it. But, you know, it's the cost of doing business with a really vibrant yellow. If you want it to be super opaque in one coat, you pretty much have to make it a pastel. All right. So when I used this same color, it's so funny. It shows up so different on camera because it's a neon, this one. But I had used it the other day in that on my pinky, in that mani I did recreating Nailed and Curly. And I forgot that it was a neon, and I was in the guest bathroom downstairs. There's like blue lights in it at night, and they're not like strictly a black light. They're not like the super intense black light, but they're blue enough that the neons do react to them. Any blue LEDs do have a certain amount of UV being emitted. And so my pinky was like glowing. I was like, oh no, it's so weird. I was confused for a moment. It reminds you of Butterscotch Hop from Holo Taco. Yes, it is very similar to Butterscotch Hop. It's not quite identical. They're probably dupey enough that I didn't really need both, especially since I also have Instant Mood Booster from Cracked. But they are all slightly different. And I'm a bit of a yellow nut, so... See, they're all a little different. And on camera, it's kind of flattening things a little bit. You can see that they're different, but it is kind of flattening things a little bit. But in person, this one is significantly more vivid than the other two. It also is just a tiny drop more orangey. Just a drop. But yeah, honestly, do I need all 3? Probably not. But I want all 3. And I love me a good yellow. So I'm justifying it for myself. All right. You need to dry a little bit. Well, yeah, you're probably okay for a second coat. Although I could just do... No, we'll do a second coat. We'll do the second coat now. Try and get that nice inky starry night darkness. This is not the most opaque black I own, but it is a very good black. You're not a fan of yellow on you? A lot of people seem to struggle with yellow. And I think it's really interesting because I actually think that a lot of people look better in yellow than they think they do. But they've had a bad experience with like a specific shade of yellow and it's tainted their view of how yellow looks. That's my theory. Because there are definitely yellows that don't necessarily look, super flattering on everyone. But when you get into these like sort of more like warm, the sunflower type colors, I think they're actually pretty widely flattering to almost everybody. And people are just scared to give them a chance. Just got in from karaoke. I hope you had a good time at karaoke. What did you sing? Did you sing anything good? I'm going to need a complete breakdown of every song that you sang at karaoke, Sonia. You also just don't like yellow. I mean, that's fine. You don't have to like yellow just because I like yellow. You're allowed. I don't love purple. Other people are allowed to love purple. I don't mind. Not everything has to be for everyone. You didn't say anything because you couldn't drink tonight? I don't see how those two things are related. Did you know that you can sing without drinking? You're allowed. You have olive skin, so certain yellows make you look jaundiced, but you do love yellows, so you're glad you've found some that you like on you. You know, here's the thing. I, palest bitch on earth, look fucking heinous in pastel yellow. It's the worst. So I get it. Not every yellow is for everybody. But I truly, firmly believe that there exists for each person a yellow that is just a gorgeous color for them and their skin tone. You just need to find your correct yellow. It exists. It's out there. Believe it. And if you just don't like yellow and you don't want to find the one that exists out there for you, that's okay. You're allowed. You're allowed to just not want to. But don't blame the yellow for your unwillingness to search for the right one. Because it's out there. Even I, an avowed purple hater, have purple polish that I love, that I have to admit looks really nice on me. Because that's just the way it is. It's just some of them are good. That's all there is to it. Okay, you know what? I'm going to leave it there. I didn't exactly follow what's on there, but I think that's okay. Anxiety is a bitch. Your irresponsible purchase this week will be purple liquid blush because it helps balance out yellow foundations. That makes sense. My mom has, all my life, she's had bad rosacea. And so she has always used, or has often, not always, she has at points in her life used a green, like a pale, super, just like a trace of green in it, super pale green color corrector. And I remember when I was going through my goth phase, I started using it for a while because I'm very pale and pink, and so it would like basically make me look even paler without making me look like I had caked white makeup on myself. So it just, instead of going for like the hardcore goth, white pancake makeup thing, aesthetic, I just went for, no, I'm just naturally dead. So that was my thing for a while. I wore the green color corrector. I still didn't really wear other makeup at the time, though. It was pretty much just that. All right. I like how that came out. I think that was a good call to use the creme first and then add the jelly on top. You're doing a B/Heart Manny in shades of yellow, amber, and gold next week for your 16th wedding anniversary. And you're excited for it even though your husband hates yellow. Well, happy anniversary in advance. And he doesn't have to like yellow for you to do that. I don't think that's necessary. I unfortunately, so I was looking to see what the like traditional, everything is for a 50th birthday, and it turns out it's just gold. It's gold for 50th anniversary. It's gold for 50th birthday. It's gold. It's gold. It's gold. Everything is gold for your 50th. And I fucking hate gold. I don't like gold. I don't like gold. Actually, this is gold, but it's yellow gold. Or, I mean, it's white gold, rather. I basically only use white gold for, like, anything. I don't... If it's not silver for me, it's going to be white gold. I do not like yellow gold. I own one single piece of jewelry that is yellow gold. And it's only because it was passed down to me. And I, at some point in time, hope to be able to afford to have the stone set in white gold instead, and maybe have the yellow gold repurposed or just sell it or something. I don't know. You always used green color corrector when growing up and doing makeup because you're so pink and it made you look paler? Yeah. You need green for your nose. It lights up like Rudolph. Yeah, Leo, that's part of the reason I never got into makeup, is because literally you can't color match my color, or you couldn't back then. Nobody made a foundation that looked anything vaguely like correct on my skin. And especially with freckles, it makes it even harder. So super pale with freckles, back in the early 90s, there wasn't a lot of options for makeup, for foundation. So I just didn't. And that worked just fine for me. Now, Do I want to... I feel like I might want to do... I think we can just... I'm debating about whether I want a top coat before I do the next steps. I think for the middle nail I'm going to want a top coat, but I think for the others I can probably just go as is and it'll be fine. Because that's the only one where I'm going to need to sort of be a little bit more precise with my line work because I'm doing the face. So I might need to erase some stuff. But like with the stars, I think it's okay if they're, you know, slightly janky. Okay, so let us begin on the thumb with some of these little stars. It would help if I brought my detail brush out. Here we are. My little Nano. It's my go-to brush for super detailing stuff. It's the only expensive brush I will purchase. Although I do really like the Cirques. So at some point in time I'm going to have to replace one of those and it's going to hurt me, but I will do it because I use that a lot. Oh my god, the stress of this. The stress. I did one okay, and that means that the rest I'm just gonna mess up horribly. That's always how it works. Both of the cats are snoring now. They have slightly different snores. Fucked that up. God damn it. All right. You know, I think we can just... Yeah, I am excited to see it when it's done too. I think it's going to work out really nicely. I think this was a good choice, as well as being a fun one. I feel like there's almost no way that this can go wrong, aside from like me fucking it up. But like it's just such a well-conceived combination that it's going to work. Musumbi is currently doing small snores. Yeah. Jammy has like an old man snore that's like, and Budgie has more of a. So between the two of them, it's extremely cute. All right, there's a couple of different types of stars on here, so we're gonna try and do one of these other types that's like a dot in the middle and just like some little lines out to the sides here. And some of them are just a straight up dot, but I think I'll use my dotting tool for that. And it looks like there's also some that are just itty bitty little crosses. So we'll do that as well. Try and get all of the variety of stars in here. Another one of this type. Which is, that one came out a little bit more like the little anime thing. He sometimes does loud snores that scare you awake because he sleeps next to your head. Jamie has always slept next to my head, and yeah, I'm so used to it though that I actually just they kind of lull me to sleep now. Like I have trouble sleeping without Jamie snores, without hearing her breathing next to me. It's like challenging. Okay, I think maybe like another one of the little ones that are just a little cross here. And then maybe we'll just do some of the little dots and call it for this thumb. This one's a little smaller. Okay, do a little dot and a dot and a dot. Hello, there we go. Oh, getting a little string there. You know what? I think that's probably enough. Let's just call it right there. Okay, so there's our thumb. Inspired by her hair and the top of the background behind her head. Very cute. I am going to do a very slight edit on this one so it doesn't look quite so much like I'm trying to do some anime shit here. There we go. Oh my god, your brain interprets your husband's snoring as monsters sometimes? That sounds awful. I looked at Brian doesn't really snore as a general rule. Like, he does occasionally a little bit, but it's not... He's never been a loud snorer. I'm actually much louder than he is with the snoring. But even less now that he's forced to sleep upright. He can't actually lie down, and so the little bit of snoring that he used to do is not even a thing anymore. Because he can't get into a position where everything closes up on him. All right. I decided to mix a little bit of the loggerhead sea turtle with a little bit of fresh pedicure. Because I wanted something a little bit... I'm actually going to add a little more of the fresh pedicure. It's like somewhere in between... the minty and the blue. It's like not... I don't quite have the exact color. Not that it matters if it's exact, but I want something a little closer to what they've got on here. Yeah, I think that's better. You have noms. What kind of noms do you have? All right. Go... 3 lines that way. And then 3 lines this way. At least this is a reasonably simple pattern. I think I can manage this. And this way. Oof. And the way the hot pink and the light blue contrast against each other is like doing things to my eyeballs. It's doing that like that weird interference thing that colors sometimes do when they're right up against each other. Okay. cardigan and thoop. Ooh, hot and sour soup. Very tasty. Always gives me the sweats. Okay. That's it for that now. It's funny the camera is like really sort of chilling out the intensity of the pink here. Ah! Fuck. Yeah, that was a quick design. Love a simple geometric that you don't have to be too precise with. Don't worry, I'm gonna make up for it on some of the other ones. You also have noms. Yeah, it's definitely tripping out the eyeballs, but I am having fun with it. And I do like it a lot so far. The one that's making me nervous is the middle nail, because I know that one's going to be a challenge, but we're going to save that one for last, I think. All right. Now we'll do the hot pink designs on top of the yellow. And this one should be fun because it's just going to be some sort of some fun random shapes. And I just get to pretty much do what I want and just be inspired by what she's got there. Don't have to be too precious about it. So that is the nature of this type of pattern. If you're too precious about it, you're doing it wrong. And we don't have to worry about getting all the lines perfect. It doesn't want to be that way. It wants to be something more fun and carefree. Just do like a blobby thing there. Put a blobby thing in the middle. This is the kind of like, you know, when you're like on a meeting or something and you just need to be doing something with your hands because you fucking can't with the just sitting there. But you have to also sort of look like you're paying attention. So you just do the random little doodles on a pad of paper. Those things got me through school. They've gotten me through a bunch of meetings. Just fucking scribbling. Doodling on paper. All right. Got that one a little too close, but that's okay. And let's do a little triangle here. I swear to God, these fucking, I keep trying to get rid of these little cat hairs that are like attaching themselves to literally everything. And I cannot. It's gotten so bad now that we have 4 cats in the house. It's like at a ridiculous level. I mean, it was always, but now it's extra. Let's see here. Oh, this is fun. It's got kind of like a, let's do one like that. It's got like an inner ring and then another thing here. And then these are like doing this. That's a fun little shapey shape. I need a bit more of this. You're not a doodler? You doodled a lot? Bum 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 bum. I see AI Discord in the chat. Discourse in the chat. I'm gonna have to take a pause and take a look at what's being said there. I think this area, I'll just put another one of these little sort of semi-triangular blob shapes and call it a day on that nail. I think it pretty much, oh wow, you're really not focused at all, are you? There we go. There. Nice and quick when you can just have fun with it. Okay, I'm gonna scroll up and take a look here at what we said. Why do companies use AI for live chat support? Oh my god. Because they don't want to have to pay people. Keeps telling you everything is good, but it's not. Yeah. I've never found a single AI chat support thing to be in the least bit useful. They're always the least useful thing there is. Do my cats accept being brushed? Yes. They all, well, they enjoy it to differing degrees. Budgie and Jammy fucking love it. Timony is fine with it, but he won't sit still for a long time because he's a kitten. Pardon me. Cinna is sort of in between. She likes it fine, but she doesn't get excited about it. Jammy and Budgie get like super excited about it. They're like, "Fuck yeah, scritches! We get brush scritches. It's the best." Okay. I think this is probably going to be a good. Well, is that going to be good size? Yeah, it's probably good size. They're not super duper in rows, but they are pretty even. We're like fairly evenly spaced out, relatively speaking. Yeah, the problem is that first of all, there are 4 of them, which is just too fucking many. And second of all, Jammy and Budgie, Jammy in particular, but their breed is one that has an extremely dense undercoat. And so you can brush them for like half an hour solid. And at no point in time will the amount of fur that you're getting off reduce. You can do that every day. You can give them a thorough brushing every single day. And there's never a time when you're like, I've finally gotten to the end of the insane amount of fur. It's happened. You never get to that point. They're just... It's like a fucking endless undercoat with Jammy Dodgers. Yeah, they are all picky about the type of brush, for sure. And a lot of brushes are not at all effective for Jammy Dodgers in particular because of that dense undercoat. There's a lot of brush styles or comb styles for cats that they just don't even begin to touch the undercoat at all. They just kind of skim over the guard hairs. AI keeps saying your order is coming, but tracking says otherwise. Oh, God. Yeah, you need a human being for that. Your other car was like that? You had a hairy car? I'm going to assume that was a typo. It's a really good typo. All right. Well, it's time. It's time to do the hardest nail. It's time to do the hardest nail. It's okay, though. We got this. We can do this. So, we are going to end up having some black around the edges. Why is this the hardest nail? Because I actually want to capture the proportions of the face correctly. And with the other ones, I could kind of just like mess around and get it, just do like a fun thing and it would be fine. But with the face one, I have to actually get the proportions correct. Or it's going to look wrong and weird. Okay. So, bum, 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 bum. And I kind of want to, I want to make sure I get like the shapes right as well, which is challenging. Okay. That's going to be the lower lip. And then she's got like a little bit of a cat mouth going on. Just a little. And then that little bit right there. And then this. I actually should have gone it a little bit further, but I'm loath to do corrections right now. Get that curve there. Okay. And then she actually has a line here from the lip to the nose. I'm trying so hard to get this right, y'all. It's such a lovely and distinctive way of doing faces that I just really want to get it right. Oh, God damn it. I got a little bit of stringiness on there. I can see it. You get the black up against the white. There's just a tiny little bit of string there. I don't know if I can fix it without fucking up the white underlayer. Okay, we'll leave it. Get some thinner in here so that we don't have more of that happening right away. Car is car. Meow. Yes. Strings of danger. It's true. I hate it when you get the strings. They can mess up an artwork so fast. Okay, here we go. So we're going in and then out that way. I'm gonna have to slightly adjust this shape. Oh shit, I went down too far. God damn it. It's all right. We can go back in and fix it a little bit. And then there we go. Okay. Whew. That was the part I was most worried about. So we got through that relatively okay. It's not perfect, but I think it's okay. Just try and do a little bit of cleanup here. Deep breaths, everyone. Okay. Eyes. We got right around here. We got some real sweet little closed eyes. And then I don't know if it's eyelashes or blushing, but in black, but it's cute, whatever it is. Sort of reminds me of the sun. All right. Trying to make sure I'm like in view for you. Okay. It's not bad. It's not bad. Now I do want to fix this because this line I didn't quite come out far enough. And here as well. Oop, 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 oop. It's the danger with trying to go back in and fix it up a little bit is you can really make it worse. No, and you can add hairs to it. Oh my goodness. Okay. Honestly. There we go. Okay. Okay. All right. We're getting there. We're getting there. Now, she's got a beautiful curved, strong curved jaw here that's mostly going to come over to there, but then come across a little bit of a point at the chin. Okay. And we're going to take this up. It's actually going to be a little closer to the eyes here. I'm going to switch brushes for this part. Hey, Dragon Cat, welcome. Looks effortless, but you know that it's just hours of practice and honing talents and skills. It takes a lot of time with any skill. With any skill. You know, every single person here has something that they're just insanely good at because they've spent just fucking hours and hours and hours doing whatever that thing is. So this is the thing that I've chosen to spend hours and hours and hours doing. So yeah, but thank you. But yeah, it's very much just a matter of spending stupid amounts of time doing the thing. Whatever the thing is. All right, and then on this side, we go up, and it is fairly close to the side of the face here. She's got a fairly narrow face. Come down. Speaking of incredible brush skills, did y'all see fucking Linry's skater? Holy shit. That was fucking outstanding. She totally nailed that. All right, let's give this lady a little. She's got a real graceful neck. It's a little further in. If anybody here has not seen Lynn Reese Manny from earlier on, you need to go check it out because it's incredible. I imagine she'll be posting it on Instagram tomorrow, but I think she probably did it during a live stream, is my guess. I think she streams usually on Tuesday afternoon, or on Thursday afternoons, rather. So I think she did it tonight. Or today, rather. Jesus. Doing a real good job here. Okay. Let's get some... So we'll do this part first, and then define the shape of the hair around her face. No, of course you didn't see. Really? Don't you? Oh no, I guess you wouldn't have. You'll. Oh yeah. Well, I'll have to show it to you because it's really cool. You'll enjoy it. I know that you're going to want to see it. All right. So her hair actually starts to come in around where her eye is. And it meets her eyebrow. And it's like little... It's starting to dry out on me. It needs to get a little thinner. You were watching women's figure skating? I mean, so was she, but she was just watching women's figure skating on her nails. It's really cool. All right. Now that we've got this a little bit more fluid, I wonder if it would almost be easier to do this like with a dotting tool or something to get the shapes right. It might be, but am I going to? Probably not. And why? Mostly because I am stubborn. Okay. And then on this side, and again starts around where her eye is, comes in. I'm gonna have to darken up that eyebrow a little bit. All right. Let's get that darkened. There we go. Now, I think, yeah, it's a little more off to the side. Let me just try and correct this line. I'm close, but I'm not quite there. I want this a little more over. And down a little more. There we go. That's a little better. I also think I made her face a little too wide here. Oop. All right. I'm pretty happy with that. Your friend's toddler fell in love with the skeleton event. She says she's going to be on Team USA when she grows up. Her dad plays hockey, so you can totally see her doing winter sports. Yeah. Definitely helps if you've got someone in the family who's like already into it and sort of knows, you know, what's required and who to talk to and, you know, get all the inside scoop on local clubs and whatnot. Okay. Y'all, we are almost there. I am impressed at how quickly we've managed to do this. I'm still not doing the other hand, though. I know someone's going to say something like that, but... All right, I'm going to put a couple of little, like... couple of stars up in here. And I think I will do one of the cute little... this kind of star. Hello. It's a little bit too much of a blob. To help tie this in with the thumb. Can we do it properly? Would that be okay? Would it be all right with you if we just fucking did it properly? No? Apparently not. Okay. I guess I'll just fix that side. Wow. It's the worst star. The worst. That's okay. We can fix it. We can fix it. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, we got strings. I got strings. They're multiplying. And I'm losing control of my polish. There we go. I fucking did it. I did it. I did it. I'm happy with this. I really like the pattern split up. It was as soon as I saw this piece, I was like, that lends itself so well to doing a mani because you can just immediately you can break that up into little pieces and just like pick out the patterns and do one on each nail, and it lends itself perfectly to a mix and match. As soon as I saw this one, I thought of that. It was immediately, I was like, shit, I want to do that. So I'm glad that y'all were amenable. Because otherwise I would have been sad. I wouldn't have been sad. There was not a single artist that I showed you tonight that I wouldn't have been happy to try and recreate an art piece from. But this was just the one that I came in excited for it. Okay, so we need to do some seal glaze because I am not doing that much work and then fucking messing it up with smudging. I think this mani wants to be matte. The canvas appears to be a matte canvas from the original piece. I think this mani wants to be matte. I feel like the vibe is right for matte. So I am going to do that. First we do seal glaze, then we do regular top coat, and then we do matte top coat. Because we like to complicate things around here. Whenever possible. Definitely matte. Even Sassy's not going to argue. Because you know I'm right. This is one of those rare times when matte actually is the correct option. The Manny is specifically requesting it. I don't usually go with matte unless there's like a compelling reason for it. Mostly because I'm too fucking lazy. It's like a whole extra step. Yeah, in general, I tend to go glossy. This has got to dry though. Let's go look at some more of her work though, shall we? Just because it's fun. Can I make the sparkles glossy? No. I refuse. Okay. Let's I love this. I love this. This makes me so happy. This is just gonna take a minute to dry, so we're just gonna admire some fun art. I think this is really cute. That's a keychain. You can get this as a keychain. Oof. So those are, she's made some posters available for digital download for free, as well as having the prints for sale. Free coloring page. That's cool that she includes some like freebies in with her purchasable prints. And then I think I also saw a couple of original pieces. It's nice that there's sort of a range. Oh, I like this. That's lovely. I am rooted, but I flow. I feel like Sassy needs this. These are super cute. All the yoga girls. I like how this yoga girly has one of Banana Pepper's artworks on her wall. That's cool. Yeah, I love her use of color. Everything is so vivid and like it's just really lovely. I feel like she was a 90s kid. I don't actually know when she was born, but I feel like she was a 90s kid just from her use of color. I really like these too. They're like kind of very simple in a way, but they're very compelling. Rooted in my own rhythm. Here we are, shining anyway. They're very lovely. They're very lovely and they make me smile when I look at them. They make me smile and they also make me say, fuck yeah. And I think that's good. Yeah, the pastel in the background, Najwa, that was the other one that I was really thinking it would make a nice Manny. There it is as a print. The other one was the keychain version. Looks like there's, if we click into these, you can see more of it. I am worthy of ease. All right, are we dry enough? I think we're dry enough. I like this one a lot. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Let me just get rid of that. Yeah, exactly. Art should make you feel, and this really makes you feel. It makes you feel a lot of different things. In really lovely ways. There's there's some sadness in some of them as well. It's not just like, oh, everything is good and happy. It's absolutely acknowledging the horrors, but doing it in a way that centers joy and you know joy and community and connection. And I just think that's really lovely. All right, so this is the regular top coat. And then once that dries, we will do matte and we'll be all done. So for next week, Tuesday afternoon stream, I do not have a set plan for it. But where's my calendar? Yeah, so next week I don't have a set plan for Tuesday's stream. But I do want to do some kind. That's going to have to be, I think, my last. It's going to have to be my last Black History Month nail art. So I'm going to come up with something to do for that for Tuesday afternoon. Thursday, I'm not going to be able to do. The reason why Tuesday is my last Black History Month nail art stream is because Thursday night I have a new collection to show you from Arcana, which is the one that they've started teasing. They've been showing some swatches of it, but I always like to do a swatch and review live stream the day before they launch. So that's what we're going to do next Thursday. Is the swatch and review for that. It's a really nice collection, but it means we're going to have to slightly truncate the Black History Month shenanigans. But that's part of why I decided to start doing Tuesday afternoons as well, so that I could actually fit in as many Black History Month manis as I wanted to be able to do. Because I was like, at the beginning of the month, I was like looking at the month and going, well, crap. We have this Arcana collection. We have the Olympics. We have Valentine's Day. I'm not even going to have a chance to do a live stream for my birthday. That's just not going to happen. So, that's fine. I'll do a mani at some point for my birthday, maybe. But yeah, so it's just a real packed month. So I was like, if I add in some extra streams, then I can actually do some cool Black History Month stuff. So yeah, that green magnetic for sure. Do I like Pokemon? I don't dislike Pokemon. I don't. There are certain Pokemon that I think are real cute. I'm not really super into Pokemon. It's fine. I'm not super into it. Yeah, there's like I said, there's certain ones that I really, really like, just from an aesthetic point of view, because they're cute. But yeah, I never really got into the Pokemon game. My first real exposure to Pokemon, besides like my daughter was into Pokemon a little bit when she was young, but like she's 30, so she's 32. Jesus Christ, 32, 31, 32. I don't fucking know. We're all old now. That's all I know. We're all old now. 32. I think she's turning 32. Anyway, when she was a kid, I had a little bit of exposure, and then nothing until Pokemon Go. And I started playing Pokemon Go on my phone, and that was like basically how I learned basically everything I know about Pokemon. And I haven't played any of the other Pokemon games besides that. So Pokemon's 30th anniversary is coming up on the 27th of February. Oh yeah, the Lunar New Year. I wanted to do that as well. Yeah, it's really Sanyo would have to know all of the events, of course. You want to do a Black History Month, Manny, but you haven't decided what yet? Well, this week's the week. Get on it. Spooky Mouse is 33. Brian's daughter, I think, is 33. I think she's 1 year older than Carmen. All right, Matt. Well, you can certainly take inspiration from one of the other nail artists that has done Black History Month manis, if you're not sure what you want to do. There's a bunch of people that have been doing some really cool stuff. Or you can just pick a topic. Any topic. One of the other things I was thinking about was doing some kind of food mani, but I find it difficult to deal with food manis and make them look nice and not horrific. A lot of foods just don't look good in miniature on the nail. So, I don't know. I'm going to have to figure out one last design. I might just do another art thing. I don't know. But if one of y'all has some suggestions for a cool final Black History Month mani, holler. I might make this one my submission for the collab that I'm in on Instagram. Ashley and I run a collab together on Instagram where we do different, typically different social justice issues every month or so. And this month we are doing Black History Month collab. And so I think this might end up being the mani that I use for that. I think that would be fun, especially because we ended up using, the reason I found out about this artist was because Ashley used one of her paintings as the background for the collab poster. So that's how I found out about her. So it seems appropriate to use this one. Yeah, Yaneli's series has been super fun. You could also, take the route that Linry did and feature, some black athlete. There's lots of options. So, or you can just do a real pretty Skittle using polish from black-owned brands. That counts too. You don't have to do super complex art if you don't want to. I just usually want to. All right. My mat is mostly matte. It'll continue matting. It's most of the way there. Just got a little further to go. I think we're done, y'all. I think we're done. Fucking covered in cat hair. Let me give you a little budgie. Yeah, there's like a fuck ton of options. There's also like, you know, you could do something inspired by some black creator that you follow on Instagram or whatever, or on YouTube. Just figure out some way to be inspired by them. You're halfway through your mani? Yeah, but you started after me. I wish that there was a good way for me to share Jammy's snores more loudly, but every time I move, she like immediately wakes up. But at least you've got a little look at Budgie. Ooh, something inspired by a black potter. I would have to do some research. I can only think of one black potter that I actually follow right now. Yeah. You can hear the snores a little bit. I do need a cat mic. The problem with having a cat mic is that it would mostly be for Jammy Dodgers, who is very, very frequently sleeping behind me on the chair, which means that the mic would be like, it would be miking my butt. And I'm not saying I'm a farty girl. I'm not a farty girl. But it does happen. It does happen on occasion. So far, I have not let one rip during stream, but it could happen. And I don't think that anyone needs that to be mic'd. I'm just saying. I don't know if we need that to be mic'd. There's some risk. Bob the Drag Queen. He's your favorite drag queen and Patreon creator. Cool. Speaking of black pottery, can we see your Glitter Sis mug? I did post a photo of it in my stories when I first got it. She's the black potter I'm thinking of. She's the only black potter that I follow. There's so much like pottery content, and I almost never see non-white hands behind pottery accounts. And I don't know how much of it is just like the algorithm pushing them, and how much is like cultural shit where, you know, there aren't like maybe there's like socioeconomic things where there just isn't the same amount of access. I'm willing to bet that there's less access to pottery studios in lower income areas, which tend, as we all know, to be predominantly black and brown. And like, there's a lot of issues there that I would not be surprised to find that there's some cultural barriers, even though obviously black people have been making pottery for a really fucking long time. So like, it's not like it's not a black tradition to do pottery. I feel like there's probably a certain amount of systemic barriers in North America with that, just as a guess. But yeah, I would love some Rex for sure. And I will get a photo of my Glitter Sis mug. It is super cute. But it's all the way downstairs, so I don't want to grab it right now. But yeah. Paul Lewin, not a potter, but a painter. Paul Lewin. Yeah, doing pottery and sculpture is definitely expensive. And a lot of people don't have access to to studios. It's not like you can just do pottery in your home easily, right? Like you have to have access to a studio. Studios are expensive to run. That's just a huge part of the pottery reality in North America. Now, if you have property and know-how, you can build a wood kiln, like a brick and wood kiln in your yard and do pottery at home. That's a much more traditional way of doing it. But most people don't own a huge chunk of property that they can do that with, right? And yeah, if you want to actually purchase your own electric kiln, those are hideously expensive. So in some ways, it's not surprising, but in other ways, it kind of is when you think of the fact that, you know, pottery is one of the oldest arts that humans have, right? Like that's one of the biggies. That's one of the first ones we came up with was, you know, burning clay to make something to eat out of. That's some old shit, man. That's some ancient traditions. So it's interesting. It's one of those things that has been gentrified in a way. Gentrified, and of course, along with that, barriers being thrown up. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, if any of you follow Black Potters, please, I would love some recs. I would absolutely love some recs. So send them to me. I always want to follow more Potters. And then my husband says, "Why do we have so many mugs?" I can't help it. Yeah, it's one of the things we consider a sign of civilization. It's like one of the most basic, fundamental things. Yeah, it's wild to think about. Anyway, yeah. So maybe that might be a really good topic for Tuesday. So, thank you, May, for recommendations. I thank you in advance. Or possibly not in advance if you've been throwing them on Discord and I just can't see them yet. Anyway, that's it. That's all. That's it for tonight. Thank you for hanging out with me and helping me with awesome nails. I'm really happy with how they came out. I think they're really super cute. And I will put the links for all those artists in the comments here. I'm going to pin a comment with, if I can figure out how to pin a comment, I'll do that with all of the links to the artists that I featured tonight. Go check them out because they're all absolutely amazing. And several of them are quite active on Instagram. So thank you all. And yeah, Tuesday afternoon, we'll do our last Black History